on the podcast mattress and buy the meal box and be happy. This is We Have Concerns. Hi, Jeff Cannata.
Hi, Anthony Carboni.
Hello, concerned citizens.
Anthony, this week I want to talk about horses.
Hell yeah, dude. They're majestic.
Can we talk about
animals.
horses?
I'm scared of them. If I'm
really?
honest. I mean, I'm not like terrified of them, but horse killed Superman. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like horse,
Yes.
like listen, you could say Christopher Reeve died many years later of complications of horse killing him.
Yeah, but should he have been messing with horse? I don't know.
If Superman can't mess with horse, then no one can mess with. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You and I think, are saying the same thing.
Yeah.
I was dating somebody once, humble brag, and she did charity work at like this horse ranch that gave horse rides and horse therapy to kids.
Yeah.
That and she invited me out to see horse and all this stuff, and I was like, this is so cool, this is so lovely. She's like, do you want to ride the horse? I was like, absolutely not. She's like, you came all the way out here, you're not going to ride a horse? I was like, yeah, I came out here to see horse. I came look at horse, see what you do. Do you want me to pet horse? Good horse.
This is how Anthony has only one date with people.
That's it. I was like, listen, I don't know. I was like, I'll come out again. I'll ride the horse next time. Let me get used to horse. I don't know if I'm, ready for horse.
We do equine therapy with my daughter. My daughter Zoe is autistic, and we have started equine therapy. We're like 2 years in on it. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It is amazing how calming that particular animal is, particularly to kids with autism.
Listen, they're beautiful, they're majestic, they're smart, they're loving. Yeah. They killed Superman. 4 out of 5 ain't bad, but I still don't necessarily want to get on a horse.
Have you ever ridden a horse?
I have.
Yeah.
I have a couple times. As a kid, I remember going to like a birthday party situation where there was a pony.
Yeah.
And we some sad person walked a sad horse around in a circle.
Yeah.
And I was on the horse.
Sure.
And then in high school, I had a friend who was a competitive equestrian rider.
Ooh.
And I got to ride on her horse a little bit. And yeah, man, it's cool.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it. I love that my daughter is doing it, and it seems to be, helping her in interesting ways. But I'm not one of those guys that like romanticizes. Yeah, no, I'm not into that. But I have 2 stories about horses, both of which were posted in our Discord, which you can get access to at patreon.com/wehaveconcerns. 2 very interesting stories, kind of related, but both about horses. The first is a story that was sent to us by Razakin. It's a name I don't recall seeing too often, but thank you, Razakin, for
we know
posting
Razakin's in the Discord pretty regularly. I don't think Razakin submits
Posting
as many stories, but thank you, Razakin.
Thank you, Razakin. Not a super recent article. This is a Smithsonian magazine story from 2022, but it is fascinating. It's not something I saw at the time.
2022 was 2 weeks ago.
It does seem that way. Yeah. This is a work that was published in the International Journal of Osteoarchaeology. Pretty cool. That means like real bones, baby. Real bones.
Yeah. Old bones.
Old bones. This was a wide, deep, long-lasting study that examined.
Okay, calm down.
This was it's examined 171 unique archaeological sites all around England.
Looking for them old bones.
Looking for old bones. Sites that dated from the 4th to the 17th century. And they were looking at horse bones. Horse bones. They found over 2,000 horses, or the remains of 2,000 horses.
Is this another story where people have been eating horses? Because we already did a story where people were eating a lot of horses.
This doesn't have anything to do with eating them.
Okay. This last time you brought up a story like this, it was like, turns out people ate so many horses.
I mean, I don't doubt it. You eat what you eat. You know, there's a certain point at which you either eat something or you die.
Yeah.
So we're going to eat that thing. You know what I mean?
That's true.
That's a lot of human history right there.
That's why there's so many Warner Brothers cartoons where a human turns into a T-bone steak.
That's right. Or
that's a real
turkey
scientific.
With the fluffy things on the ends of the.
That's
feet.
right. That's right. And that's a real scientific phenomenon that Fritz Freleng and Chuck Jones were aware of because they had PhDs.
The scientists, yeah. No, this is not about eating. This is the fact that based on these 2,000 horse specimens from the 4th to the 17th century, we learned horses used to be tiny. Horses used to be way smaller
like a
than they are now.
Pony.
Yes. That basically what we would consider a pony, a tiny little horse, the thing that you rode as a child in a circle, sadly, that was like peak horse in medieval times.
But that makes sense because you look at everything from medieval times, they were so much shorter.
That's right.
They were so much shorter. And also, horse was probably like dog, where like it had not been bred for as long to be human machine for us.
That's right. That's exactly right. So, I mean, I just went to, I went to London this last year with the family, and we went to Windsor Castle, and they have room upon room upon room of like, armor and knight paraphernalia.
Yeah.
And so all, and you walk up to it and you're like, were there children they're very small.
Yeah. I would have done that thing that an older brother does to a little brother on TV where you hold out your arm.
Yeah.
And then Lancelot simply would not have been able to kill me.
Powerless to stop you. He was just swinging wildly in the gap between the two of you.
Yeah. Sir Gawain would be powerless.
That's right. Well, it turns out not only were the people smaller, the horses they rode upon were smaller. In fact, Anthony, the average horse in the medieval period, you think about, your Lord of the Rings, your Knights of the Round Table, your Game of Thrones, whatever, the majestic, you go to the medieval times restaurants.
The stout Arabian horse is what you're thinking of.
You think of this destrier, right? This like massive war horse and the proud knight high upon it, holding the jousting staff and the shield.
Clydesdale.
Yes, this massive beast that they're riding into war upon.
Nah, dude.
Nope. Wasn't the average horse in medieval times, not the restaurant, was a foot shorter than the average horse is today. A foot.
The average horse in medieval times, the restaurant, is much more well-trained in the theatrical arts.
Sure. It can deliver a monologue, baby.
Yeah. A foot is not what I was picturing. I was picturing when you said this, and I'm not, once again, this is not me trying to take the wind out of the sails of this story. I was picturing like a half-size horse. I was picturing a fully half-sized horse.
Like a little dog. You thought that literally in the medieval times they were just like border collies that they rode upon, like a sheep that they were riding into battle on? Yes,
like once again to bring up the great works of Warner Brothers animation, I was picturing where like, it's Daffy and Porky as Robin Hood and Friar Tuck, and Friar Tuck has to ride on this tiny little like mule.
Little donkey.
Yeah, I was picturing that sort of.
Well, I mean, I think
a foot is still a big difference.
It's a big difference. So the average horse today is 5'9". And by the way, I learned about how you measure.
But the average horse says on horse dating apps that it's 5'11".
Yes, that's right. That's exactly right. But do you know how they measure a horse's height?
Well, do you know if a horse wore jeans, which way it would wear?
Very important if you want to buy a horse jeans. You got to know its height.
Does it do the back legs or does it cover all four? Now, do they measure? Okay, the horse's height would. I mean, it would have to be standing at what is considered straight horse posture. Do you know what I
Stand
mean?
against
And
the
how do you get a
wall.
horse to stand at straight horse posture? Or is it the height from the bottom of the hoof to where a person would sit? Because that's what's usable to us.
That's much closer. So there is a part of the horse called the withers.
Hmm.
The withers is now think about a horse in your mind. It's got the head, and then it's got like a little bump, and then it kind of goes concave where you put your legs and your butt.
Yes.
And then the hump in the back. That little bump where like the tip of the saddle, the horn of the saddle would be positioned.
Yeah.
That bump at the base of a horse's neck is called the withers.
All right.
It's usually the highest point of the horse's back. So from the base of the hoof to the tip of the withers is how you measure the height of a horse. And
That
interestingly,
one sentence, Jeff, sounded like the most Gilbert and Sullivan shit I've ever heard in my life.
from the base of the hoof to the top of the withers is how you measure a horse.
Yeah, that's good. We got something there.
If you want to ride one into battle, you've got to know its height, of course.
Of course. Now, this makes sense to me because the horse is always going to be moving its neck around and doing. And the part of the horse that we care about, as the people who have subjugated this species to our whims, is what's it going to take for me to get on this horse?
Exactly. So it's the withers. And the other thing that's interesting to me that I did not know is there is a medieval sort of archaic a unit of measure called the hand.
Yeah. You're not familiar with the hand?
Well, I know what a hand is, but
okay, I was like, wait a minute. You've come across this before. What's the part that you're unfamiliar with?
the hand was defined by King Henry VIII.
Yep.
Henry VIII I am. And he there's a statue of him that is the benchmark of how you measure a hand. And it's
Like the kilogram.
yes, it's this statue.
Like we've got the kilogram under lock and key, so we know exactly what a kilogram is. If
Right.
you want to know what the hand is, you have to go to the statue of Henry VIII and calibrate your measurements.
Yes. It happens to be 4 inches, so it's kind of easy. But that's the King Henry VIII's hand width, I guess. Width.
Yo, hey, but now we got to ask a question.
Yeah.
Did they make that statue a little bigger? Was that hand a little bigger?
I mean, if you know anything about King Henry VIII, I'm guessing that's a pretty safe bet.
Yeah, I'm guessing the ego thing probably came into play here.
Yeah.
So now
don't measure my hand. Measure my statue's hand.
Yeah, this is how big my hand normally is, and don't argue with me. I'm the king.
Yeah. Anyway, so that unit of measure isn't used for anything other than horse heights. It's still used to measure horse heights.
We're still using that?
Yes.
That's stupid.
It's the only place that we're still using King Henry VIII's hand is to measure how tall a horse is, up to the withers.
We don't need to do that. Hey, every single occupation, every single profession, every single industry that has its own units of measurement at this point, get over yourselves.
No, I love it. I love weird, archaic units of measure.
Oh,
how
many knots are we going? Shut the fuck up, man.
Yeah, I love that.
No, you know
how many leagues? How many leagues away is that?
No, you know what a mile is. You know what a kilometer is. We have all these things now. We have all these things now. Everybody, we can sit down at a table and we have standard units.
I love it. How many joules is that? How many ohms? Give me all
joules.
your
Okay, joules and ohms is a different thing because that's a unit of energy,
right.
And we need something for energy, right?
Yes, I'm just saying. I like having each field has its own thing. I like that. I'm into it.
Everybody, get over yourselves measuring a horse in hands. Get the fuck out of here. How tall is a horse? Tell me in feet.
Well,
I know it sounds stupid that I'm saying don't give me hands, give me feet, but shut the fuck up. We all know. We all know. Don't get smart out there. You're out there trying to get smart.
The average, did I say this already? The average horse height is 5'9". The average horse height in medieval period, it was 4'5".
Okay, so a little over a foot.
Yeah,
A little over a
I mean,
foot.
it's a huge difference.
It's a big difference.
Yeah.
That's it, man. That's a different, when you're a kid and you're like, and your parents bring home a bicycle that's a little big and they're like, you'll grow into it. You know what I mean? You know that feeling of trying to get on that bike?
Yeah.
I feel like that's the difference in these horses.
Well, it's interesting that you bring that up because part of the analysis of this data is, sort of why was that? Well, one of the reasons is, you kind of hit on this earlier as well. They were breeding horses at this point for human use, but they weren't breeding them for size.
Yeah.
They were breeding them for something much more important for people on the battlefield. And that was, for lack of a better term, courage.
Yeah.
They literally bred horses to not get spooked.
Yeah.
And
you want a mean horse that's going to ride you towards that other guy on a mean horse.
That's right. And a bigger horse is a bigger target for archers. A bigger horse means if you fall off of it, you get hurt more. And also, in medieval times, the sort of rules of engagement, the best practices for battles, and again, this is not something you see depicted, I think, in movies, or at least I haven't, is that they got off and got back on their horses a lot.
Yeah.
They were off and on the horse. And if you think about, if you've ridden a modern horse, getting up on it ain't easy. And you think about if you have any armor at all, you see the dudes at medieval times or the people in the movies, they have the squire who like helps them up because it's such a pain in the ass to get on the thing.
Yeah. Well, that's
smaller
that's
horse,
Smaller
easier
horse.
to get on.
Smaller horse, you're wearing so much armor, it's so heavy.
That's right.
You got to get back on. You got to listen. We all know the saying. You have to get right back on that horse.
You got to get on the horse. Yeah.
You got to get right back on that horse. And so if you're going to do that and you're wearing 100 pounds of filigreed armor,
yeah,
dang, dude, you want to just be able to like swing your leg and be on that horse. You want to have to like do,
I was shocked. It just completely recontextualizes my vision of the past because,
Did it change the way you think about horse forever?
Think about medieval horse forever because you have it in your head. You have Gandalf riding down at the Battle of Five Armies. You have these majestic ideas in your head of these massive war horses. And that's just not what they were. They were smaller. They were little ponies.
Yeah, they were just little guys on little horses.
That's right. That's right. What would you rather fight?
For lances they use toothpicks. I heard they use the cocktail swords.
That's right.
And that's where we get them from.
They finished their cocktail and then rode into battle with the swords.
But they could like swim in the cocktail. For them, it was like a hot tub. It was adorable. The medieval times, like, here's what people will tell you. They'll tell you it was dirty, it was diseased, it was barbarous. It was an oligarchy that was, and a monarchy that was terrible and oppressive. But what they won't tell you is it was adorable as shit. These were just little tyrants, lording over little peasants.
And their little voices, they'd be like, "We're gonna get you."
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right,
this is my kingdom. Everything here belongs to me.
Charge! They'd say, "Charge!"
Mm-hmm. That's what they'd say.
Anyway, that brings us to our second story. I thought that was interesting.
I did too.
This is only tangentially related, but it's horse stuff. And this is a much more recent article. This one was posted by Cahoots, our friend Jeff.
Sure.
Thank you, Jeff.
Yeah.
And this is from
checks in the mail, etc.
This is from knowablemagazine.org.
Noble Magazine.
Yeah.
Oh.
Knowable. Yeah.
Oh, knowable. I thought you said noble.
No, I think that's an intended pun, but it's knowable.
Knowable.
Yeah, Know. And this is something I had no friggin' idea about, but is pretty darn crazy in my opinion. It turns out the world leader in horse cloning is Argentina. Argentina clones the living fuck out of horses.
Clones them?
Hundreds and hundreds of cloned horses a year. And do
Wait,
you know
whoa,
why?
Whoa. Like clones them.
Clones horses. We're gonna get into this. This is some shit.
They're like Argentina is Camino, but for horses.
They're cloning horses, baby. And you know why they're cloning horses, Anthony?
Why?
You know why this massive horse cloning industry exists? It is so that
because the Nazi scientists that ran away to Argentina were good at cloning.
I mean, I'm not saying it's not that. No, the true reason is because Argentina wants to dominate the polo industry.
Fuck yes. Fuck yes. Yes, Argentina. Yes. Find a market that no one cares about. Argentina, find a small market no one cares about and dominate in that market. Argentina, listening to the business podcasts, understanding what's going on, saying, listen, we've analyzed the market and it turns out not a lot of people are cloning horses. And it's like, well, why not? Well, it turns out not a lot of people knew that was possible. Not a lot of people knew that it was possible for us to do that consistently and in a way that made sense economically. Not a lot of people knew that. And everybody around the table raised their hands. They're like, yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know that either. And then the other reason is nobody thought to. Why would anybody think to? Nobody thinks that you need that many horses.
Well, let me tell you how this went down. This is fascinating to me. So there's a guy by the name of Adolfo Cambiaso. Yeah. Adolfo Cambiaso is the Michael Jordan of polo.
Oh,
he's
hell
like
yeah, dude.
The dude. He dominated the sport of polo in like the late 90s, early 2000s.
I think that's what you want, right? I think you don't want to be a Michael Jordan type character. I think you don't want to be a Tom Cruise. I think what you want is you want to be very specifically the best and very specifically famous to a specific group of people. Do you know what I mean? Like go out for brunch famous. Like you can go out for brunch and nobody's going to bother you.
Oh, you're saying that if you're the Michael Jordan of polo, you could still go to the mall.
You can go to the mall. Nobody's like, listen, you might run into like one person that's like, holy shit, that's Adolfo Cambiaso.
You just can't go to the Ralph Lauren store.
No, you absolutely not. You can't wear Ralph Lauren around because people are going to be like, hey, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Maybe that's him. Maybe that's even him. I don't know. Maybe it's him on the thing. Maybe he's like the Bill Russell of.
It's like how no one recognizes talk show hosts when they're out and about because they're wearing like sweatshirts and not suits.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're in disguise.
That's kind of what you want. I bet Adolfo Cambiaso. This is the other thing. I bet being the best at polo. I bet he's still kind of like crazy rich.
Oh yeah, dude. When do you hear about the freaking money that is thrown around in the polo world in Argentina?
Because like polo is very specifically and has always been, even if you don't know anything about polo, dudes. Which none of us do.
No.
I know just as much about polo as I know about horse cloning.
I know they carry a hammer.
I know it's for wealthy people.
Yeah.
And people go out, rich people go out onto the field and they push down the divots in the grass.
Wow.
And they're drinking champagne. They're drinking champagne and they use their fancy shoes to push down the divots in the grass after the match. That's what I know.
So this dude in 2006, his star horse, Quartatera. This is the horse that he rode to championships and was like his horse.
Oh, he didn't want his horse to go. He didn't want to be without his horse.
It had a terrible injury and they were going to have to euthanize it. Okay? And this is 10 years after Dolly the sheep, right? 1996, Dolly the sheep. Old Adolfo remembered the story of Dolly the sheep in his head. And he was like, you know what? Hey, before we euthanize old Quartatera, let's, can we take a sample? Let's just take a sample. Just to see. Let's just take a cells, just scrape some cells into a petri dish.
Our dude said scrape some cells in 2006.
That's right.
I'm putting my Xbox 360 in the fucking oven so it doesn't red ring, and he's cloning a horse.
That's right. He doesn't know how he's going to do it. He just knows this was his star horse.
Yeah.
All right. 10 years later, 2016, at the Palermo Open Final, which is like the polo championship.
Sure, you don't need to say that. We all know that.
Oh, no, sorry. No, this is not 10 years later. This is, I may have conflated the dates. Whatever the case, later at the final.
That very night,
no,
he rides up on a horse in a mask.
I'm ruining the story. But the craziest part about this is however many years later it was.
God damn it, Jeff.
I ruined it. His team, La Dolfina, the entire team is riding 6 clones of Quartatera.
Django Fett.
You know what their names are?
The entire clone army is made
the
of
entire
Django
clone
Fett,
army.
the greatest bounty hunter in the galaxy.
Quartatera. The names of each of these horses that the entire team is riding is Quartatera B1, Quartatera B2, Quartatera B3.
No, now I don't like it. Now I don't like it. Now I don't like it.
Yeah.
I hate that now, because now it really is like the clone army. You're not giving them names or anything. You're just saying this is serial number 82147. Go win a race.
That's right.
This is not a sweet story of a man bringing back his favorite horse.
Oh, no, it is not.
This is not a sweet story of a man bringing back his favorite horse. I am no longer on board.
So,
wait, how is he doing this? How is he even doing this, dude? How much does this cost?
A shit ton of money. So he partners with this Texas oil man.
Yeah, he does. A polo star and a Texas oil man?
Yeah.
Give me an astronaut, dude. Put an astronaut in there. Give me, what else do we have? What other mid-century fucking weird, like a race car driver, like a Monaco Grand Prix driver? Get him in there.
Yeah. So he's starting to, he teams with this Texas oil man. And in 2010, so this is 4 years after he starts this cloning process. In 2010, Cambiaso, Adolfo, our buddy Adolfo.
Yeah.
It makes news because he sold one of his clones for $800,000.
Is that good? Is that good for a horse?
$800,000 for a cloned horse.
Racehorses seem pretty expensive though. Like,
yeah, they usually, polo horses usually are worth anywhere for $50,000 to $1 million.
Okay,
so he's on the upper end.
So he's on the upper end, but he probably got, even though this is a clone of the greatest horse for the greatest guy to ever horse, they probably got a little bit of a discount because it's like, we don't know how this clone shit's gonna go.
That's right. So this makes news.
Knocked off the top.
This makes news, and at the University of Buenos Aires, there's a biotechnologist by the name of Gabriel Vichera, and he is doing his doctoral thesis on cloning at the time, and he reads about this, and he goes, $800,000 for one cloned horse? Oh, baby. We can ramp this up. We can
factory.
Yes. If he's getting
factory.
We can,
instead of horse going to glue factory, horse factory.
That's right. We can ramp this up hard. I can partner up. So he contacts Adolfo.
Yeah.
They team up. They start cloning the fuck out of horses. So between 2012 and 2016, they clone 38 horses, 38 live births, and almost half of them not so good.
Yeah, sure.
Abnormalities of the umbilical cord or placentia, limbs that were abnormally bent.
Yeah, there's a reason we're not. There's a reason we're not hearing about clones all the time. And part of it is the ethical thing of we're like, hey, don't clone shit. But the other part of it is like, Clones don't turn out so good.
The thing that I learned about this story, Anthony, is that you and I both remember Dolly the sheep. We both remember. We were alive for that. We were aware of that. We were talking about science in the early 2000s. We understood the ethical stuff with cloning. Anthony, that's all gone. This is a fucking rampant business. For cloning animals is just unregulated at this point.
Yeah,
just going.
I remember hearing we've talked about those places that will like clone your
dead pet,
and all that stuff. Like we've talked about that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And so I know there's no regulation, but Jeff, how did that first one even get made?
Well, he, like I said, he partnered with this Texas oil man, and then they did it for money. And I think he just wanted to like see if he could make another one of his favorite horse.
Yeah.
And then this dude from Buenos Aires comes in and is like, this is a business. So 4 years.
You're leaving horse on the table.
That's right. 4 years, they make, 38 of them. Half of them are just total abominations to God, like horrible. You can hear their screams throughout Argentina to this day.
It's fine, dude. It's fine. What we need to focus on is the fact that we made half of those horses pretty good. That's 17. Right. That's like 17 good horses.
That's right. They look at you sideways sometimes, and you can see something weird in their thoughts, perhaps. But all their limbs were present, so that's good
in a way.
So these all were made from adult skin cells. These were cloned from adult skin cells. What they changed after 2016 was they started working from stem cells from bone marrow.
Okay.
And they say this changed everything.
Yeah, stem cells are what's up. At
that point, they basically created an almost 100% birth rate. So that means that, they drastically reduced the miscarriages that were rampant.
Flipper babies?
Yeah, and the flipper babies.
Okay.
It's still messy. They still have stuff that doesn't come out right, but it's much more efficient.
Yeah.
And
wow.
They
do horse have presence of mind enough to, if you are walking around on a ranch, right?
Yeah.
And you are looking at every other horse on ranch, do horse have presence of mind to know if something's a little off? I gotta wonder. Like horses, just like all horses look like me.
Smart animals. I don't know.
They seem like smart animals. All horse, we all look exactly the same. I don't know. I'm the horse that would know what was up. I'd be like, there's something going on here.
Yeah. So fast forward to 2024. Now they've started using CRISPR-Cas9.
Sure.
To genetically engineer muscle fiber, strength, speed, size, all the stuff that our medieval friends didn't care about.
Yeah.
The polo world is loving, baby.
Yeah. Now it's like, hey, listen, these are all clones of my beloved perfect Quartetera, but my beloved perfect Quartetera could be even more beloved and more perfect, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah. So now we are in the place where literally like all of the horses that are used in polo in Argentina are completely manufactured for that purpose. And it's getting farther and farther away from just using the horse that
like everybody's just riding around on a Quartetera now, and if you don't ride around on a Quartetera, you can't compete.
That's why Argentina owns polo. That like nobody can touch them and they're the world leader in horse cloning, outpacing everybody. United States is a distant second in horse cloning. Costs about $40,000 per cloned horse.
Okay. But then you're flipping them for $800,000 to $1 million.
That's right, baby.
That's a great ROI on horse. This is a phenomenal ROI on horse, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Now, but they're running a full on. They're not just cloning these. They've got to train them too. They've got to raise them, train them, feed them, exercise them, break them in, all that stuff.
That's right.
That's really wow. I want to visit this compound. I don't want to ride a horse, but I want to visit this. I want to see what this is like.
They clone hundreds of horses a year. Hundreds.
That's crazy.
It is a big business for these dudes.
We're talking about like you make 250 quartiteras a year. That's $250 million a year, and just in quartiteras alone.
I'm telling you, I told you I love units of measure that are precise. So you just measure in quartiteras. That's what you do.
You measure in quartiteras. Like 1 quartitera is $1 million.
That's right.
That's boy. This is sinister. Like
now,
it's
that's
not
my question.
what it is, but it's not what it is.
That's my question. Is like we think we know as a society, as a species, that we don't want to do that to human beings for sport.
Yeah,
but there are sports.
Even though, hey, can we be honest? There's a little part of us in the back of our head that wants to clone somebody and hunt them for sport.
Well, I don't even think hunt them, clone them, make them enormous, and put them into football pads. I think we would do that in a heartbeat if everybody just sort of let it happen.
So it's just me with the hunting them.
I think it would be just you.
All right.
I think you're the only one that wants the most dangerous game.
Okay, that's fair. Okay. Well, here's my thing here, and this is a weird line of thought. I don't know. I just said I would hunt a clone if I could. I'm thinking about like, we don't like it when athletes do anything to modify their bodies. We don't like it when athletes take performance enhancing drugs, do anything like that. But we do allow athletes to be sponsored by massive corporations that send them to training facilities that no one else can send them to.
That's right.
But should you be able to buy a perfect genetically modified horse to play polo on? And should the sport only be competitive if you have that good a horse? That's the question.
That's the question, right?
Within the sport. The larger question of should we clone is like, baby, I don't even have time. Should we clone a living thing? I don't even have time. I don't even know where to start. You know what I mean? Like, but within the sport, it does feel like, I feel like they're only getting away with this because nobody knows or cares enough about polo. Do you know what I mean?
I think that's accurate. I mean, it's clearly a big money-making sport
to a select group of people.
That's right.
Right? This is like we were saying, this is a rich person hobby that rich people like to watch.
Right.
So
but I think if you brought this to, like, let's say the equine events in the Olympics, like horse jumping or horse racing, stuff that is a little closer to what people think about when they think about horse sports.
Right. GMO a horse. I don't know.
I don't think people would be down with it.
People would not be down with it. I don't think. Not in the Olympics. No.
I wonder, do they test the horses in the Olympics? I don't know. Do they test the horses in the Kentucky Derby?
They do. From what I understand, they do test the horses to see if the horses have been drugged or there's any kind of substance. The same way they test the people. But that's the thing, is like, how do you test for clone? How do you test for clone? And then here's an ethical thing. Should we be able to test for clone?
Yeah, right.
That's scary.
Yeah.
That's scary. And I don't know how it would be possible. I don't know.
This article on knowablemagazine.org.
How do people in the polo world feel about it?
This is standard operating procedure.
Everybody's got a genetically modified horse now in polo.
It sounds like, at least in the Argentinian realm.
So
But
if you're not riding a Quartetera, you're riding something else that's been probably cloned and jacked up and whatever.
I don't know. I mean, I it just sounds like it's so common. Like literally the entire team was the clone of one animal. Their entire fielded team.
I like to think that polo jockeys have a sweet relationship with the animals that you know what I mean? We all like to think that. Like jockeys have sweet relationships with their horses, and it sucks to think that they're just like reduced to serial numbers, and this jockey is just like, well, I'm going to ride B7 today.
I mean, it's not that it's not I mean, yeah, the names are sad, but I mean, it's a living animal that, you know, its DNA was injected into, you know, a cell and grown mostly in a lab and then put into a mare to be born. It's not, you know, I don't know. But here's this article quotes a Finnish philosopher who specializes in ethics, who says, improving the athletic performance of a non-human for human entertainment is repugnant. It intensifies objectification, manipulation, and hegemonic imposition. So, you know, there are people that are speaking out about it. There's just... It has changed so much over the years from when the last time I sort of like psychologically checked in on this. It felt like we were all on the same page that cloning bad. And it's just why I had my eye off the ball. And by this, you know, in this analogy, the ball is on the grass and it's
it's being hit by a mallet.
Yeah. So everything changed and this just became like really common.
Well, I think what's crazy is we thought, oh, okay, we all agree no clones. But what we agreed is no clone human.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that we actually agreed.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that sort of laws were made about. And then I think cloning experiments slowed down just because everybody felt a little bit of the ick from them.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that people stopped researching or stopped doing it. It just means they stopped publicizing it for a while.
Well, it became less novel, right? And the article ends with this sentence. It says, with technical advances and the standardization of protocols, objections to cloning lost their centrality. And at least in the field of polo, the practice began to enjoy relative acceptance.
I mean, is there anything wrong
it's a hard one.
Is there something fundamentally wrong with the cloning of horse? I don't think there is.
I mean, I think that
I think
when it started and there was so much just you know, objectively bad about the process, so many you know miscarriages, abnormalities, that stuff, you just go, you can't do that. That just seems unethical.
Right.
Now,
animal experimentation that is painful, harmful, hurtful, we don't like.
Yes. But now,
if you can clone easily,
how far away are we really from get your strongest stallion and your strongest mare and make them do it in the, you know, like I don't know how far we are from that, honestly.
I mean, that's the thing, right? Is like there are massive contracts that people make to have two horses sire a child, right? Like this is the fastest, strongest horse. This is the, you know, and it's like, well, let's get them together.
A long line of that's common practice in horse racing, right? Is like, this great grandfather of this one was, you know,
horse racing, dog breeding, any sort of animal husbandry, right? Where like, this is what it is. It's how do we make best animal? And it's like, well, you make best animal with computer. you just do it with computer. And it's like, well, yeah, you do it with computer, but shit, do we want to do it with computer? And to me, it's like the cloning of a human comes with a lot of stuff about, okay, you clone a human. Who raises that human? Where does that human live? How does that human get educated? What are the rights of that human? Right? Like that's where things get kind of like nasty with humanity. With an animal, it's like, all right, you made a horse and the horse lives on your farm. Cool.
Yeah.
Raise that horse, I guess, or don't. I don't know. It's your horse. Do what you want with it.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's the thing. So to me, I think the major ethical questions come from within the sport. And if the sport is okay with it, that's crazy, but it's also whatever. You know what I mean? That's crazy. But go ahead, rich polo people. I didn't understand you to begin with.
They interviewed Adolfo Cambiaso.
Yeah.
And Cambiaso, and he said that when he first rode the first genetic clone of Quartetera,
yeah,
that the horse had the same explosive start, the same agility in the curves, the same sustained stride in the long sprints. It was the same. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, but it didn't know your name, dude. It didn't have memories of you. You creep.
I wonder, who am I to doubt the Michael Jordan of polo? But I wonder how much of this is self-fulfilling prophecy. You know,
and sales pitch.
Yeah, that too.
And sales pitch, right? This is a guy who's he's now making a few $100 million a year off of this.
Right. Like you clone your pet doggy, your little puppy dog who you were sad, and you pay the $50,000 and you get a clone of Little Scruffs. And Little Scruffs just, reminds me of old Scruffs. It's like, yeah, but you probably could have bought the same breed at the pound.
And it probably would have reminded you a little bit.
But it reminded you,
Scruffs.
Yeah. Like you're doing a lot of the heavy lifting in your head because you paid the $50,000,
Yeah. Yeah. It's weird. I mean, certainly if it is big, strong, fast horse, yeah, it's going to be kind of the same, but like, I don't know. I would imagine he used the same trainers and the same, I don't know. Like if the question is this right or wrong? My answer is,
my answer
do you know what
probably.
I mean? Like, this is so, yeah. Is this right or wrong? Yeah.
Probably it is.
Probably one of the two. It's going to be right or wrong for sure. Is this right or wrong? Yeah. Yeah, it is right or wrong. It's going to fall into one of those two buckets, I think.
Yeah. Who knew, man?
But it's like everything. I'm like, this is way out of every question about this is way out of my pay grade. Like, first of all, what's polo? How does it work? Where is it? Like, what is a season like? How much does a regular horse cost? How long does it take to train it? Like, I don't know anything about this shit. Is everybody that does polo, does everybody have millions of dollars in there? Let them spend it. Fuck them. Fuck a millionaire anyway. But like, I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it's wild.
How are polo horses treated in general?
Probably not great.
Versus how are polo horse clones treated? Is it the same? Is there a larger ethical issue about the treatment of polo horses?
Right. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, dude. What do you want from me? I don't know.
I think we can all agree it was way better in the medieval times when they were the size, they could just fit them in your pocket.
You just put a horse in your pocket and you go to town. And like, if the horse gets hungry, you give him a little sugar.
Yeah.
One cube would last them for days. Were we worse to people back then? Yes.
Sure.
But we're talking about horses right now.
The horses were adorable.
I don't know. What do you want from me? I don't know.
Anyway, that's our horse stories for the week.
Yeah, I try to get into my horse stories for the week as early as possible.
Yeah.
Get it out of the way.
Get it out
like Mark Twain said, if you got to eat a horse, eat it first thing in the morning. Hey, horse should be cloned?
Yeah.
Let us know.
What do you
think?
feel about this? Do you have an intuition? Because we don't.
I'm searching my gut right now, and it's just like, I don't know, man. My gut instinct says, nope. I don't know. I got nothing. So if you got something, you can let us know. You can do that on the Discord. You get access to that Discord by heading to Patreon, patreon.com/wehaveconcerns. $1 a month gets you that Discord. You can also hit us up on social media or whatever. I'm not there. Oh. You can hit me up as much as you like on social media. Maybe I might see it in like a month or two and I'll be like, oh yeah, that was about that thing I did.
That's probably smart of you.
It's bad, dude. It's bad.
I'm on the blue sky. I'm on that blue sky. I can't help myself. Yeah.
I'm there. I'm at A Carboni. I won't see it.
He's
at Jeff
You can
Canada.
Tell me what to tell him.
He'll see it.
I'll pass it along to Anthony.
He sees it all. He lives a very unhealthy lifestyle with the social media.
It's true.
But yeah, if you do want to go to the Discord, you should know that'll only cost you $1 a month. But if you give a little bit more every month, you get a little bit more, including bonus episodes, Q&As, extra segments, all kinds of stuff. Patreon.com/wehaveconcerns. If we reach $800,000 on Patreon, we'll buy a cloned horse.